How's it going, guys? In this Blender tutorial, we're going to be using geometry nodes and some logos to create this graphic style. It's a pretty common style you see in a lot of motion graphics, and today we're going to be able to recreate that in Blender, have some control in the shading, do a little bit of compositing effects, and make something that's really cool. This tutorial is part of a series I'm putting here on YouTube where we're using Blender like it's Photoshop and like it's After Effects, running logos, text and images through it, and making some really cool stuff, thinking about using Blender in that specific way. There's also some bonus content from this series on Patreon, so if you're a member or want to join, you can check that out, and it's the end of the year, and annual memberships are 20% off right now. So if you want to check that out, all those things are linked in the description. With that being said, let's get into this tutorial. All right, we are going to start out with a plane. I am in Blender 5.0, so very important. Not that I think you can do this in older versions too. Not a very new technique. I'm going to hop into geometry nodes and just customize my windows to just my own personal preferences. We are going to start a new node tree, delete the input, and let's go ahead and get a grid. Get this grid, plug it into here, and then I'm going to give it a size of 5 by 5. And then we need to start with a little bit of geometry. So let's give it a vertices of like 20 by 20. In fact, actually, we need to go more like 50 by 50 in order to make this viewable. Now what we'll do is instance on the points. We're going to instance a grid on each point. And just to make it lower poly, even though it's going to be so light, it won't really matter. We'll give it vertices of 2 so that there's no cross sections. And let's add that in there. And then here on the size, we'll just make it, looks like for me, about 0.07 by 0.07. So now we have these grids. Let's go ahead and get a delete geometry node. And we want to be deleting the instances. This is where we can introduce an image texture. So search up image texture, and you are going to need some image, any image you want. You can see I have a couple tests that I've done here. So I'm going to use the Blender logo. You can use, again, any image. Specifically, the best results are going to be one that is a black and white image. So I just took the Blender logo and made it a black and white image. And I'm going to plug color into selection. And you can kind of tell it's the Blender logo duplicated over and over and over. So what we want to do is switch it from repeat to clip. And now we need a way to move our image around. If you're familiar with shading, we are going to create a mapping setup. So what we're going to do is get a vector math. We're going to get 2 of these, and these won't work unless we have a position node to give it the right information. So plug all of these together, and you'll notice the add is literally a position slider, which is pretty cool. Now we need to be able, on a normal texture coordinate node, which is what we're building, they're kind of like that, we need to get a scale. That is going to be multiply. So if you bring it back to 1, it'll be default. And then this is the scale. This is how you stretch it in and out. And if you want to rotate it, you can get a rotate vector node, and that is going to give you rotations, which is pretty awesome. So this Z right here is going to give you that rotation. So here, in this case, we can actually, instead of multiply, you can actually use a scale, and that'll do the same thing as well really nicely. So I'm going to go ahead and get my logo positioned how I want it to be positioned. So we'll scale it up like that. So now we have some pretty nice looking stuff, and you can move it around to make sure that all these are even. If it's not important to you, then it's not important to you. So now we have our Blender logo looking pretty awesome. So now we can create the really cool effect that we had created to make them move around and look really interesting through playing with the scale of this and the scale of that. So the trick on this one is going to be making the lower vertices, the Y vertices lower, and the X vertices higher, so you can get some interesting looking effects, and we'll edit that as we go. So what we need to do is get a combine XYZ, plug this into the scale, and make everything a value of 1 to bring it back to default. And then we're going to get a noise texture for animation and to create the effect, and a map range to edit the size of everything. So plug everything into the X, And then it won't be super obvious yet. So let's bring the max, total max until they start to touch. And then we're gonna, what I wanna do here on the Y is just scale them up until they just barely touch. You can zoom way in and get them to be something like that. Perfect. So just scale them up. And then now you can kind of see this effect happening. So bring up the from minimum to make this effect a little bit more dramatic. Bring down the detail and bring down the scale. And once you switch the noise over to a 4D, you can play with this effect. And then I'm going to bring the minimum up a little bit so they don't scale out completely. And then maybe bring my scale up a little bit more. And so bring that from max. So bringing up that from min is going to get less wider ones and more skinny ones. But this effect is what we're going for. I'm going to bring that from min back a little bit so we can have a little bit more larger pieces, and that's going to affect how the animation looks. So now we have this. This is ready to be animated and move on, but obviously we don't have a material. We don't have a way to make this look cool. So go here to the render settings here, the little camera icon, switch it over to Eevee. Default settings are going to work just fine. And we're going to get a set material node. Here in the material section, we're just going to go ahead, click new, and get a emission node and plug that here. And then I'm going to go to the render view and bring my world brightness down to black. So now we can add some color. So I want a noise texture to drive the color on this, but let me show you why we're going to plug the noise texture in from the geometry node side of things. So if I were to go ahead and plug in a noise texture into the emission, you don't have to follow along here, you can check out what I'm doing. Notice how the noise texture, you can kind of see it on each object, but if I were to just go ahead and make it act like this and then just select here. So you'll notice here, notice how the noise texture is, you can see it's a smooth looking noise texture. See that? That's smooth. I actually want it to respect the actual grid. So how do we do that? I'm going to go ahead and remove this window so I can show you everything I'm doing. What we're going to do here in geometry nodes is get a store named attribute. I'm going to just move a couple things around. I'm going to go and say, hey, I want you to recognize the instances because we instanced a bunch of grids here. And then we're going to plug the noise texture into the value here. And I'm just going to give it the letter R as the name. So now what we can do is I'm going to open up a brand new window so we can see this noise texture so we can control him. And I'm going to switch him over to the shader editor. I'm going to hit period key. Well, that didn't work. Okay, so find your emission, get an attribute node, type in the letter R, and then switch this over to instancer. If you plug this into the color, you can now see a little something happening. If I go ahead and get a color ramp, and then I bring this color ramp down, you'll notice the noise texture is there just the way that it was originally, but in this case, it's respecting the objects, it's respecting the grid, and that is exactly what I want. So I'm going to start implementing some color. So maybe make him red, make him a very deep blue, and then we'll get one more blue, maybe a really light blue, something like this. And then here we can bring the detail down to 0. We can bring that scale really high up. And then if you want to edit the material from here, I'm going to say get a math node, switch it to multiply so we can kind of play with it from this place. And then I'm going to switch over here to I'm going to go here to the compositing tab. I'm going to click new, get a glare node, switch it to bloom. And if you're in Blender 5.0, you can get these new presets. I'm going to use the sensor noise and just bring it up a little bit. We can go back to geometry nodes and I'm going to click here and click always so that we can see, okay, our glare is working. So I'm going to bring it up a little bit. And then you can see also the sensor noise is working too. It looks really cool. So I'm going to go ahead and get a hue saturation value node here in the shader. I'm going to bring up the saturation and then I'm bring up my hue and go through a couple colors, see if I want to change it. So that looks pretty cool. I'm going to go with that. And then here in geometry nodes, switch that noise texture over to 4D and you can animate this texture. So I'm going to go ahead and collapse the shader window. I just want to stay in geometry nodes here. What I want to do is just animate this here, loop it, make it a looping animation. So here's what we can do. I'm gonna go ahead and say 120 frames, that's 150, that's fine. Let's take the noise texture, make sure the W is at 0. I'm gonna duplicate this. I'm gonna get a mix color node and plug color factor into factor, make sure both of these are exactly the same. In your preferences, just to double check that your animation is set to linear on the default interpolation. So bring your factor over here. This is a really low value in the scale, so I'm going to say, I'm going to go back to frame 0, hit W, I on the W, hit I on the factor, go to the very end. I'm going to bring this over. I'm going to type in 5, I guess. And then here, make sure you're at 150. Here on this W, right on the 0, hit I, go back to frame 0 and type in -5 because we did +5 on the other. And as I suspected, it'd be too quick. So I'm going to say 2 on this one, go back to frame 0, -2 on this one. There we go. So that is our animation. And then you can go back and tweak it a little bit more as you want to go. Everything again is fully customizable. And then again, if you want to animate the color as well, that's really going to drive more movement. Do the exact same thing you did here on this noise texture here with the W, starting at 0 and animating that, and you're going to get a really dynamic, really vibrant looking animation. And that is how you create this look with the Blender logo, and it's awesome. So there you guys go. I hope you enjoyed this one. Hope you learned something. It's pretty cool. It's very simple using Blender like it's After Effects, like it's Photoshop, all that fun stuff. It's a really cool alternative way to use Blender. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.